Hello everyone, my name is Sahil and I'm a technical marketing engineer within NetBrain. Have you ever had to resolve complex issues with end user on Wi-Fi? If the answer is yes, you would know the key challenge is to quickly figure out whether it's a Wi-Fi issue or a network issue. Let me take a minute to walk you through the problem that I faced managing my WAN. We have a tunneled wireless architecture where the traffic from each side goes through the wireless controller. As a network admin, I have to manage 5 different branch offices which connect to the company HQ via internet. Each of these branches have their own DNS, DHCP, and radius servers and a wireless LAN controller. Multiple clients connect through these locations via access points from where the traffic is channeled through the WLC to access the database and the application servers located in the HQ. Now, handling such a large and complex network also means handling multiple user tickets. Here I have put in the usual diagnosis that I carry out whenever there is a new user ticket. The diagnoses are broadly categorized into wireless diagnosis, such as client authentication status and client health checks, or network related diagnosis, including connectivity tests to destination and important servers such as radius, DNS, DHCP. Finally, when I get the output from all these checks, I correlate the data and conclude if the ticket is a wireless issue, network issue, or both. Now, there are three major challenges that I face with this approach. The first challenge: before beginning any diagnosis, I need to map the devices. This is usually done taking the source and destination IP into consideration from the ticket and then refer the multiple topology diagrams of the managed sites to list out the part devices. The second challenge: I have to run multiple commands on the part devices. I need to constantly log into each device's CLI and in addition, refer the tech docs or reach out to the domain experts. And the last and the biggest challenge is that I need to repeat the same process for each user ticket, resulting in a poor MTTR. Let me show you how NetBrain helped me to address each of these challenges with a simple solution in our network with Breeze. Now here I have a new user ticket related to client connectivity from the Boston office to the internal server that is located in the HQ. The client source IP is already given in the ticket description and the destination IP can be quickly found using the URL. To visualize the path of the traffic, I use the inbuilt path browser functionality and just provide the source IP of the user and the destination IP the user is trying to reach. Once this is done, I will click on the path and within a few seconds, NetBrain has listed out the devices from source to destination. Now, as a network operator, this is like the holy grail for me. In the part details, I can click any of the part devices and see what were the commands that were run on the device by NetBrain to understand the next hop that the traffic will take. So this has helped me to address the first challenge. Now that I know the path, I have to run a series of checks on the part devices. You might remember these checks that I showed in the start of the video, listing out the complete set of diagnoses that needs to be carried. Now all these checks I've built into a single intent. Now within this intent, I've used two seed devices, which is Cisco WLC and an iOS switch, since these are the only device types in my wireless path. But NetBrain is a vendor agnostic platform, which means you can provide different device types as per your own network. The seed devices are used to qualify the devices over which this intent can then be further run. Now let's understand the diagnostic logic that I have built. The issue could be related to a Wi-Fi or a network problem. And within this, there could be many. For example, the user could be allocated a slow connection rate or a low bandwidth QoS policy. He could be in a blind spot where the Wi-Fi signal strength is poor. Further, the AP could be rebooting. Now, to identify all these issues, we need to run multiple commands. But first of all, I need to know the MAC address of the client. To do this, I've used a NetBrain parser to filter out the MAC address and the connected access point from the source IP. This MAC address is then passed to a follow-up intent. Here is a follow-up intent where we can see checks like client connection time, QoS policy check, and signal strength check. Any client-related check can be built with ease using the nocode platform that NetBrain has. For example, in this RSSI check, I have given the ranges for my network. Now, whenever the RSSI value falls in a certain range, I will get the diagnostic result as a success or an alert message. Now, this was all about the checks we have built for diagnosing wireless issues. The second type of checks that I am going to use is to validate any problems with the network connectivity or authentication related issues. These checks which are present on my intent are simple ping tests to important servers and from all part devices towards the destination IP. Now in our scenario, I have multiple sites. So I have a nifty automation data table to index the critical resources and associated data specific to each site. The ADT will list the WLC in that site and the IP address of critical servers, so inputs can be taken directly from this pre-created ADT. But I still need to conclude whether the Wi-Fi is the culprit or the network. So with the help of intent variables, I have created a set of variables called as wireless issue and network issue. Now each time any wireless check fails, it will update the wireless variable from the default value of 0 to 1. At this last diagnostic step, we check the final variable value and create a note on the map listing the issue type as well as the reason for the failure. Now I'm back to the path map. All I need to do is just navigate to the auto intent tab, and here I can see the intent that I created as well all the devices where this intent can be run. NetBrain has done the heavy lifting of decoding the devices which qualify for the intent. This way I can save a lot more time and effort when scaling the intents for large networks. Now I have selected all the devices. The next step is to provide the source and destination IP as per the information from the ticket. Other variables such as the DHCP, DNS or the radius server are taken directly from the automation data table. I will just go ahead and run the intent. Okay, so my intent has finished executing. Let me move back to the map. And I can see that the devices where the diagnostics were run show the results or the status of the diagnostic checks. To give us the final verdict, there is also a map note where it is clearly evident that the wireless issues are the culprit here and the list of issues that were detected. Let me click on the diagnosis messages and filter out the alerts. So it is quite evident that there is some issue with the client, and from the diagnosis logs, I can see that the client is not stable for 5 minutes, as well as the SNR and RSSI check has failed. Now, just to be sure, I would also like to check the results of other diagnostics. For this, I will use the diagnosis tree function, which gives me a quick visual confirmation that all is well on the network end, and the only issue seems to originate on the client health checks. Now let's have a quick recap of what we saw in this demo. NetBrain has increased the overall efficiency by reducing the time taken to run tasks, a reduced MTTR, and last, the automation can be used by even L1 teams to quickly troubleshoot network or wireless issues. If you'd like to learn more of NetBrain, you could join our power user trainings. These advanced trainings are available online and in-person modes at many cities across the globe, and without any cost. The link is shared in the description box below. Also, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. You could leave any feedbacks or queries below in the comment section. Thank you and have a great day ahead.